Hello guys, in today's video we're going to be covering the maximum effort method. So in my other video I've already covered the dynamic effort method. The maximum effort method is another method of strength training put forward by the Russian researcher Verkhoshansky. So the max effort method, the dynamic effort method and the repetition effort method. So firstly, what is the maximum effort method? The maximum effort method is lifting to a 1 rep max in a lift. This isn't 90%, 95%, no, it's a 1 rep max. So it's either a PR or something where if you added another kilo you couldn't do it. So basically, during the max effort method we're going to perform 3 to 4 lifts over 90%. Why the max effort method? If you want to lift heavy weights, you have to lift heavy weights. Your body adapts to the stimulus you place upon it. If you're always lifting light weights, you're going to get good at lifting light weights, but you need to get used to straining. And this is the purpose of it. You get used to having the heavy weight on your back, straining in awkward positions. The max effort method elicits maximum motor unit recruitment. So it's the same thing, say you're doing a set to failure, the last rep you're going to get maximum muscle recruitment. But on the max effort method, because you're going to a max, you get maximum recruitment right off the bat on the rep. And maximum motor recruitment is anything over 90% will elicit that response. We rotate lifts. The reason why we do this is because it's such an effective training method, the CNS adapts to it very quickly. A more newer lifter might rotate every 2 weeks, but I recommend rotate every week. And you'd use a non-classical lift, right? The reason why we use a non-classical lift is to remove the psychological demand. So say you're maxing out in squat all the time, you keep bringing it back around, you're doing a regular squat, no bands and chains, no box, nothing. If you miss that, it's very psychologically damaging to miss it. So by using close variations and trying to make, you see a lot of people might do reverse bands all the time and stuff like that, but it's daft. You want to put yourself in an awkward position and make the lift harder and get used to straining in an awkward position. So when you come to do the classical lift, it seems easy. One of the main reasons why the max effort method also works is because of CNS inhibition. So in your central nervous system, there's mechanisms which are there to stop you from being able to exert force. The main one of these is a Golgi tendon organ. So it's a tiny little bundle of nerves in the end of your tendon, which when there's too much force getting put through that muscle, it shuts down the whole thing. And this is when you fail a lift, you feel like you can't carry on pushing, everything just disappears and the weight, all the strength just disappears and the weight just pulls you back, pins you back down. And this is what's happening in the Golgi tendon, shutting the movement down to basically protect yourself and stop you getting injured. And the maximum effort method trains the Golgi tendon to operate more near its capacity and stop you shutting the movement down early. Right, so back onto the loading side of things. For the max effort method, you always want to hit a 2.5 kilo PR or 5 pound PR. The reason why we do this is basically so you're constantly building that positive mindset. You're used to PRing every time you do the lift. Why only 2.5 kilos? You might be able to do more. But if you've already done one maximum lift and hit a PR, the odds of you being able to do another, say, a 10 kilo jump and not miss are low. And also, you don't want to risk the miss. You might as well just rotate that lift round sooner than you maybe otherwise would have and bring it back round in 6 weeks and hit another PR rather than trying to bite off more in a go. So it's slow, consistent progress. Used every time you do it, you PR. You basically base that off your progress, your own personal progress. So say that might be, you might not repeat it for 6 months and only PR 2.5 every 6 months, but it's better to PR than go backwards, like a lot of people end up doing. But if you are progressing faster, you can bring that lift round sooner. So some people might only have 7 or 8 lifts and just rotate through them and keep PRing. But as you get more advanced or progress slows down, you need to increase the number of lifts you've got to give you that chance to be able to PR every time. So it might seem like it's a bit of BS. You just create new lifts to PR on just for the sake of it. But the point is, PRing all the time, you build that positive mindset, and you'll find when you come back round to the lifts, you'll be able to come back round to lifts you've done before. You'll be able to break them by building progress on that, even if it seems like you're just trying to find a way around masking, not getting stronger. But it's that positive mental building that PRing every time does, has a tremendous effect on your overall like approach. Furthermore, the main reason I really like the max effort method is because it's fun. Right? We want to make training fun. There's no point doing a program you hate. No point doing the same lifts all the time, bang your head against the wall. It's fun to like throw different variations and try something new. And like you can always like, what you want to try and do is try and stick to the max effort variations which you enjoy. Like if you're dreading coming to the gym and doing a variation, you're not going to be able to perform very well. So what you want to do is find the ones you enjoy and the ones that work. So as I'm going to discuss in another video later, we're going to look at like what is strength. So we're going to have like force equals mass times acceleration. So the max effort method is working on the mass side of force equals mass times acceleration, whereas the dynamic effort's like zeroing on the acceleration part. So how we're going to increase force in the max effort method is by pushing up the mass. So basically increasing the weight on the bar all the time. Right guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching. Please click like and subscribe. Out.